Hi students, Mrs. M here. Hey, I am just making this quick video to introduce you to Unit 1 and to get you started in the course. I really like to start out each unit with a video, and the reason I am making these is so that I can first of all, kind of run you through what we're going to be learning about and try to help you see how that applies to your life. And also, some of these assignments have these specific instructions that students kind of trip up on. So I really want to point out the things that you need to make sure and do so that you don't get caught up and have issues that we have to deal with later on. So to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and front load this video. So I'm trying to put the most important information at the very beginning. So a few places that students trip up. I'm going to be going into the Start Here folder. That's where you're going to begin the course. And then the Unit 1 folder. And so a couple places that students trip up in this first little bit is here in the Start Here folder, there is this assignment where you have to actually fill out this honesty contract and then submit it. And this is the first time you'll do this, especially if you've never taken an online course. This can be kind of weird. But a lot of students forget to save their answer or their signatures, or sometimes they submit the wrong type of file. So what you're going to do, just real quick, I just want to run through this. You're going to download this actual contract on your computer, and what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to enable editing up here if you're on Word. And what you're going to do is you're going to read each section initial. Read this section initial. And by initials, I mean like TM would be my initials. So do your initials for each of these sections. And then here at the end, you're going to just do your digital signature, which is just you typing your name. Make sure and save, okay? You can't miss that step, or your answers won't save, okay? And then once you have that saved to your computer, what you can do is you'll go in, you'll submit it, and when you're submitting it and when you're saving it, make sure you're using Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Those types of files are the ones that I can see. If you go to submit it and your file says period pages at the end of your file name, I cannot open it, and so you will not be getting credit for your work. So make sure throughout the whole course you're using the Google Docs or Microsoft Word and never a Pages file. Okay, so that's real quick about that. And then in this folder, there's a couple areas where students have some missteps. So in our discussion boards in this course, you are required to make an initial post, which is you responding to the prompt, and then you're supposed to read and respond to 2 other classmates. You can read as many as you want, but you should definitely respond to 2 other classmates. Okay, now it's really important when you post these things, okay? So your first post is going to be a response here. This is explaining this. Your first post needs to be by Wednesday of that first week, okay? Because on this rubric down here, it says your initial post fully satisfies requirements and is made within the first 3 days of the unit start. Okay, so that's super important because that's going to impact your grade if you do it later. And then after you've posted, you can do it right after you've posted or later on in the week, but you do need to respond to at least 2 other classmates, okay? And in each of your posts, whether it's your initial post or your responses to classmates, you need to make it thoughtful. A lot of times it's easy to just say, "Oh, cool, yeah, I agree," or "Oh, that's really awesome. You go," or something like that. Whereas, like, if you can ask a question, ask your classmate a question, or pose a question in your own post, and you can actually link in other things, other real life examples that can help, further the discussion. We want this to be like a real life discussion where we can keep moving forward rather than just somebody says something and we all say, okay. So that will impact your grade, okay? This rubric is really, really important. That's what you're going to be graded based on. And the discussion boards are not, you can't make them up. And so you have to do them on time and appropriately, or they cannot be made up, which is kind of a bummer, but it's the only time-sensitive assignment in this course, so I think that that's okay. And then the other place where we kind of get tripped up is in this assignment called Why You Are the Way You Are. So I'm going to just pull it up. This is the file that we've been working with the past few semesters. I have asked IDLA to swap it out for the one that I made. I don't know if they're going to do it for this semester. So if your assignment looks like this, I just request of you, in order to fully respond to this appropriately and to fully meet that requirement, you need to answer what happened to you and why um, why do you consider it significant in the development of your self-concept? Okay, so I'm actually sending out my version of this assignment, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so you can use my version or you can just use the old version, and make sure you include those two things. So what happened and how did it develop your self-concept? Okay, so I've broken it down there so you can really, really make sure you're analyzing and thinking through those things that have happened to you. And I think that's it as far as the ways students are getting tripped up. So now I'm just going to kind of go through each assignment and just kind of tell you what to expect here. But before I do that, Unit 1 is all about health and wellness. Okay, this is just kind of like a general view of your health as a human being. And so there's some really, really good information here. A few things I want you to consider as we go through here. Um, the health triangle. The health triangle is a triangle, so it only has three sides to it. I want you to consider, um, I've suggested that perhaps spiritual health is one that needs to be added to it, and perhaps that maybe mental and emotional health need to be separated. And so as you look at that triangle, I want you to be kind of thinking about that and thinking if you agree that they maybe those additions need to be made to it, or if you disagree and you think the three categories of health really sum it up. So that's something I want you to be thinking about as we go. And then Maslow's hierarchy of needs is really, really just interesting. And I think that it's something that you can think about in your life now. All of these things really, really apply to your life now. And so as you're going through lesson one, think about how the parts of your health, if your triangle is kind of balanced, or if it's a little off kilter right now and you need to adjust and maybe give more attention to your physical health, or perhaps give more attention to your social health. Um, that's the type of thing I want you to be thinking about as we're going through this unit. How does this apply to me? How does it apply to you? That's what we really want to get here. And then let's see. Emotional intelligence, the part about stress is super important. And I know you hear this everywhere. This has been a really weird year, but it's been interesting to me as I've seen my students, as I've seen you guys go through, not having the whole second half of your school year last year and doing it all online and dealing with having to not do your sports and your activities. And you guys are dealing with a lot of stress. And I think it's really important that we talk about stress and about the coping mechanisms that we can all have, because it's important for all of us, whether we're adults, whether we're teenagers, or even if we're children. Um, and then, okay, so real quick, I just want to go through a few of these assignments. If you feel like you have a handle on it, then go ahead and get started. I know this video is getting a little long, so go ahead and get started if you feel like you have a handle. If not, you can look through these assignments with me really quick. Okay, so here in the Start Here folder, that's where you're going to start. There's this quick assignment or quick how-to about navigating our course. Especially if you're new to online learning or to IDLA, this is a great resource to help you figure it out and know where to access things. And then the syllabus, the contact information, and course schedule. These are all super duper important documents that you may even want to reference later. If you feel like you're in a bind and you need to contact me, my contact information is always right here. And then the course schedule will just help you know when things are due and when we're going to be starting the new units and everything like that. This Check Your Understanding is just about making sure you understand what's going on in the course, ready to go. Make sure you're ready to go. And then this section about netiquette and plagiarism, and then we've kind of already talked about that. And then as far as Unit 1 goes, like I said, this is all just kind of a general start to talking about our health in general. And like I said before, this is all about figuring out if you feel like you're balanced with your health, if you feel like you're doing activities and things in each area of your health that are improving how how well you are and improving your wellness. There's this icebreaker, getting to know you. That's just an introduction to you. And so those are really fun. You can get to know your classmates, you can get to know me. And so that's a fun start to our class. And then there's some readings and some quizzes. And then this assignment, which we kind of already talked about, and then there's a T chart down here where you're basically reviewing, a healthy person and their healthy habits and activities versus an unhealthy person. And the differences that you're going to see there, that, how their actions are really impacting how well they are. And as you're doing that assignment, I really want you to consider, like, which side am I on? Do I have more of the, healthy qualities or healthy habits, or am I kind of falling into those unhealthy habits? And, a lot of us have both. But this is a great way to analyze, things that you could change and figure out how to change those things and improve them. And then just the review and test for Unit 1. Um, and I think you guys are good to go. So if you have any questions about Unit 1 or that Start Here folder, let me know. But I'm super excited to get started, and we're off to an awesome start already.